Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're learning about SCP-2611, which is, I think that's it, right? As far as I can tell, it's like a super duper giant obese lady. I don't know how to put, like, over 900 pounds, like physically impossible. Today, Dr. Bob is going to explain what this is, because it sounds honestly kind of hilarious, but also trippy and horrifying. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe, check out Dr. Bob, and let's get into it. SCP-261, large and in charge. Oh, snap.
A young woman steps onto her bathroom scale. She holds her breath and squeezes her eyes shut, afraid to see the results as she listens to the dial spinning. When it slows to a stop, she opens her eyes and looks down. She balks at the result. 150 pounds.
You say balk, I think of a chicken. I'm back into it.
That's unacceptable in her eyes.
150?
She steps off the scale and examines her reflection in the full-length mirror. In truth, her weight is far from out of control, but when she looks at herself, she can't help but see flaws. The subtle ring of pudge around her middle, the way her butt sticks out just a little too far for her liking, the very faint thickness around her cheeks and chin that hint at her history of snacking. As she leaves the bathroom, she reflects on her situation.
I have a lot of things I could say right now, but as a man, I believe it's not my place. Women, you're all beautiful.
Of course she's gaining weight. How could it be any other way? For the last 2 years, she's been in lockdown during a pandemic.
Oh yeah,
she
lockdown.
barely left her apartment. She let her gym membership lapse, and instead of cycling to work, she's instead taking the easy way out by just driving. And it's not like she gets much exercise in her free time either.
Driving's so much easier,
During
though.
these last 2 years of isolation, she's mostly stayed in and watched television. She's discovered a particular love for trashy daytime talk shows and court dramas.
What a waste of time. She should have been gaming.
Intellectually, she knows that they're the equivalent of junk food.
Oh, that looks
At the same
good.
time, there is a certain mindless charm to them. She would be embarrassed to admit it to any of her friends, but she does enjoy just turning off her brain and absorbing some silly talk show about professional stunt dwarves or worshipping furry juggalos.
Jesus!
That sort of entertainment has been a boon to get her through the tough times.
What kind of crazy person wouldn't enjoy a delicious burger and a documentary about Satan worshipping furries? Like, what the crap?
Nevertheless, it's time to make a change. She promises herself that she's going to get into shape. Today, instead of vegging out on the couch, she's going to make an effort. She's going to go out and get some exercise, and she tells herself she's going to watch those extra pounds melt away right before her eyes. She hopes that her old gym clothes will still fit her. After all, she's definitely put on some extra weight since her last trip to the gym.
See, this is a big trap people fall for. You know what? I used to be a personal fitness trainer, and that's not what this video is about. I'm gonna shut up.
Through her drawers, she finds what she's looking for, her spandex gym shorts and sports bra. She quickly changes her clothes and is relieved to see that, although they might be a little snugger than she would like, they still fit her pretty well. That's a good sign. She probably won't even have to work very hard to get herself down to her ideal weight. It's all a matter of willpower, she tells herself. I was fit before, so that means I should be able to do it again. All I have to do is avoid temptation. I'll just have to make sure I stay active instead of watching trash TV all day. After all, I don't want to rot my brain too much. On the first day, she actually does an admirable job of sticking to her plan. She cycles to work, enjoying the fresh air and the reassuring post-workout burn in her legs that let her know that she's making progress. She throws away all the junk food in her refrigerator and goes shopping for healthy fruits and vegetables.
Bananas.
And, most important of all, she limits her television time. She knows that trashy TV is probably her biggest addiction, even more than junk food, so she needs to be careful of that. On the second day, though, she notices something strange.
Oh God.
She starts off with a simple, healthy breakfast, just some granola and a glass of juice. It's barely enough to satisfy her, but she knows that she has to make sacrifices if she expects to actually lose any weight. After breakfast, she decides to go out for a jog. As she's out on the street, she's overcome with sudden hunger.
Oh boy.
Of course, that's to be expected. She's on a diet now, so it's going to take some time to adjust to these smaller meals.
See, I said oh boy, because based off the thumbnail and the whole plot of this, you know, hunger's gonna lead to shut up!
She puts her hand to her rumbling stomach and grimaces. She's never felt this hungry before.
See?
If she didn't know better, she would think that she hadn't eaten for a week with the amount of pain that she's feeling. In fact, she's actually starting to feel a little woozy, and she has to lean against a light post to keep from fainting. She shakes her head to clear her thoughts. Okay, she thinks, I must have misjudged how many calories I need to get me through a morning. Her eyes stray to a nearby coffee shop. She sighs in relief. She thinks to herself, I'll just pop in there and get myself a small snack, just a little something to keep my blood sugar up. She walks into the cafe and gets in line. As she waits, she can't help but stare at the rows of pastries on display under the glass.
Yes.
They look delicious. and she is really hungry. She fully intends to only get a bagel with a little smear of cream cheese, but when she gets to the counter, she finds herself ordering way too much food. "I'd like 2 scones, 3 danishes, and a bear claw," she says.
Damn, woman!
Also a large super raspberry frappuccino with extra syrup and whipped cream.
Oh crap, I gotta go pee! Dude, pre-workout is crazy. Makes you pee so much.
Words just tumble out of her mouth, almost as if it's not her saying them, but rather some other voice speaking through her mouth. "What the? I didn't say that," she stammers. The clerk behind the counter eyes her strangely, and the young woman feels too embarrassed to protest further. She steps aside and waits for her order, pondering the strange event that just happened. Is she possessed?
Like
She's
you
not a superstitious
definitely
person.
said that, lady.
She can't think of any other explanation for what just happened. She can admit to herself that she has broken down and lost to temptation over a tasty snack in the past, but this is ridiculous. Eventually, when the clerk hands her the order, she rationalizes the whole thing away. "I must just be having a hunger hallucination," she says to herself. "Obviously, I need to be a little more careful about not being so strict about my diet.
She sounds like a
Just
man.
eat sensibly, I won't have an experience like that again." Her stomach grumbles again, reminding her of the original reason why she stepped into this coffee shop. She retreats to a table in the corner and tears open the bag. She wolfs down her pastries with gusto and slurps at her rich, creamy drink.
Dude, with gusto. This music in the background is so spooky. That's some demonic eating music.
When she's finished, she sighs in satisfaction, although the uncomfortable full feeling in her belly reminds her of her predicament. She only meant to eat enough to keep her from fainting, but instead, she's eating herself silly, and it's only day 2 of the diet. This does not bode well. "Okay," she tells herself, "this is my last cheat. From now on, I'm gonna be serious about this diet." She stands up and leaves the cafe, ready to complete the rest of her jog. But then, something even stranger happens.
Oh god.
On the television, the matriarch of the family is furious. She has forbidden her daughter from marrying the gardener because she believes that he is too low class for her highborn daughter. But what she doesn't realize is that her daughter is in love and that she is determined to make it work. The daughter and the gardener have eloped, and the matriarch is hiring a private detective to track them down. Meanwhile, the matriarch's long-lost twin brother, whom she thought died in a plane crash in the tropics, has actually been alive the entire time. He has been in a South American hospital recovering from amnesia, but now he returns to the family estate, ready to claim his share of the inheritance. These events are all noted by the family's shady lawyer, who has big plans to usurp the family fortune himself. Unbeknownst to the family, he is actually secretly working for their mortal enemies and business rivals to destroy them.
What the hell?
The young woman laughs, shoving a handful of potato chips into her mouth. "Oh man, I wouldn't want to be in their shoes now. That lawyer is playing them all like fiddles." Suddenly, she startles, as if she's just waking up. Where is she? Wasn't she just in that coffee shop? How is it that she's at home? And why is she eating potato chips? She was sure that she threw out all the junk food in the house. She must have bought a bag on her way back home from jogging, but she literally cannot remember it. And what is she doing now? Watching television and eating junk food? In disgust, she grabs the remote and shuts off the TV. She was supposed to be jogging, and instead, she's sitting at home and watching stupid soap operas. The thing that worries her the most is her apparent blackout. She remembers nothing about her trip home from the coffee shop, although the evidence of the potato chip bag indicates that she must have stopped at a convenience store or supermarket on the way home.
Dude, this kind of crap is like my nightmare. I was watching a movie like this last night too, where you just keep having like fits and you come back and you don't remember what happened the last like 12 hours or so. It's gotta be like my worst nightmares, your brain playing tricks on you.
How could she forget something like that? "I really must be having a blood sugar issue," she tells herself reassuringly, even though deep down, she knows that can't be the
You gotta
case.
check yourself into a mental hospital.
After eating the pastries at the coffee shop, so that can't be the cause. But she really doesn't want to think about that, so she puts it out of her head with a renewed promise to commit to her exercise and fitness program. Over the next few days, she makes a valiant effort to keep her promise. She cycles when she can, she jogs when she remembers, and yet, the blackouts continue.
Oh god.
No matter where she is when she loses her memory, she always recovers in the same place. Back home on her couch, always in the middle of eating some fatty junk food, always staring at the television set. Sure, she's always had an unhealthy television habit, and she knows that trashy talk shows and silly soap operas are her biggest weakness. But it doesn't make any sense that she would be seeking them out when she's in some kind of fugue state, right? As the weeks roll by, the young woman finds that her weight keeps rising. When she steps onto the bathroom scale, she's shocked to see that the dial points to 200 pounds. She's doing everything right, she thinks. How is that possible? How is it possible that she's ballooned up an extra 50 pounds since deciding to slim down?
See, I don't mean to whistle to insinuate that 200's a lot, lot, but gaining 50 pounds, you know how difficult that is? Like, she's been eating, dude.
She can't fit into her old gym clothes anymore. She can barely tug the spandex shorts up to her thighs, and even if she can, she's afraid that they're going to split apart.
Are those hairlines? Can we not make this about hairy right now?
In desperation, she switches to an old stretchy sweatsuit. It's the only thing that she owns that still fits her. This is just a temporary setback, she tells herself as she stares at her bloated reflection in the bathroom mirror.
Damn, the commentator is brutal.
And she does. Or does she? When she goes to ride her bike, she finds that it's no longer strong enough to support her weight. She can't perch on the seat comfortably, and the steel body frame starts to creak when she rests her full weight upon it.
Jesus!
She steals her resolve. Sure, it might be embarrassing to go out in public wearing an ill-fitting sweatsuit and riding a bike groaning under her bulk, but she really has no choice.
Owning a bike groaning under her bulk, the commentator's shredding this woman apart. Dude, that's like a middle frame bicycle. Couldn't that support, like, I don't know. I feel like I've seen very large people just cruising before.
This time, she's going to do it. And she probably did ride her bike to work, right? She's not sure.
Oh, God.
Next thing that she knows, she's back at home, spread across the couch, basking in the comforting glow of the television.
She's not even cleaning her mouth anymore.
Covered in empty bags and cartons, and her face is slathered with crumbs and sauce. The last thing that she remembers is that she was just about to go for a bike ride, but now she's back at home, and it looks like she just completely ruined her diet. She lifts her arm with
That'd be so demoralizing.
her watch. She's lost almost a whole day. That's the longest blackout yet. She must have gone out cycling and made her way home, where she decided to reward herself for her strenuous efforts with a little snack. That's the only logical explanation.
That looks so good.
She tries to reassure herself that maybe she's past the worst of it, but she finds that these mysterious blackouts keep happening. They happen while she's at work, while she's at the gym, while she's out cycling, but she always comes to in the same place, sitting on her sofa at home, in front of the TV, surrounded by the debris of a massive meal.
The debris!
She wonders if maybe she's having some sort of reaction to her new low-calorie diet. Maybe she's been cutting back so far on her food intake that she's starting to have fainting spells. Maybe her diet food is tainted in some way. But that doesn't explain why she keeps gaining weight.
The feet get bigger!
The bathroom doesn't lie. It keeps reporting higher and higher numbers, and as much as she tries to reassure herself that it must just be broken, her ever-tightening clothes and ever-widening reflection tell her otherwise. Her trips to the gym become less and less frequent, as she finds that other patrons have started to stare and whisper about her. Are they laughing at her for not being able to control her weight?
This isn't about the video at all, but if you see someone in the gym, they're making an effort, okay? Don't be a dickhead.
Are they whispering about how her new flab is spilling from the confines of her sweatsuit? She can't even run on the treadmill for more than a few minutes without being completely winded, and she's too wide to balance on her bike now. The young woman has grown absolutely massive, to the point that she completely fills the whole couch.
Oh my God!
She chews her way through yet another bag of potato chips, her eyes never straying from the ever-chattering television set. She barely moves from the spot, her tremendous girth sinking into a permanent groove in the cushions as the couch springs groan.
Damn!
She barely notices, however, because she's much too intent on enjoying herself. She loves to eat, and every bite brings her untold joy, her taste buds tingling.
Her chins have chins!
She is constantly full, so much so that she feels slightly sick, so bloated that she feels like she might just burst, but she's powerless to resist the siren call of junk food.
There's no way people that big don't have a little bit of poop on them.
Cartons of ice cream without a thought, having turned into the very definition of a mindless eater. Only occasionally does she rouse herself from this stupor of gorging to reach for her telephone,
Gorging.
more takeout or more grocery delivery, always choosing the most calorie-laden options. Other than eating, her attention is completely devoted to her television set. She watches a constant stream of daytime talk shows, laughing along with the studio audience as the hosts parade out an assortment of society's biggest freaks. Sometimes she'll switch the channel to watch soap operas, becoming so wrapped up in the ridiculous plot twists and melodramatic acting that she completely forgets the passage of time. Her bicycle stands propped against the wall in the hallway, completely forgotten and untouched now for months. At this point, all thoughts of losing weight have utterly evaporated, and all that she cares about is satisfying her appetites for junk food and junk television.
What's the SCP here?
She suddenly shakes her head and looks down at herself in horror, as if seeing herself for the first time. What the? She says in disbelief. She drops her half-eaten carton of ice cream and grabs at her fleshy middle with her hands, as if to make sure that it's all her and not some kind of crazy dream. Her hands sink deep into her new flesh.
The noises!
To her shock that indeed she has eaten herself into morbid obesity. How is this possible? I can't be this big. I was only... Her words trail off as the sound of an organ sting from the soap opera on TV diverts her attention.
Damn.
Within seconds, her eyes have glazed over, and her hands move to pick up the dropped carton of ice cream. her worries about her growing size forgotten. She's now only concerned with watching until the next commercial break.
She needs to go to an insane asylum, bro.
That someone could undergo such a startling physical and mental transformation. But what that young woman experienced has led to her being classified by the Foundation as SCP-2611.
What?
SCP-2611 is, as you might have expected, a young woman currently weighing approximately 500 pounds.
The chick is the
Mobility
SCP?
limited due to her weight, although SCP staff encourage her to take light exercise whenever possible, in hopes of preventing her mobility from deteriorating further. She also suffers from several health issues related to her weight and lifestyle, including diabetes, for which she is receiving treatment by Foundation personnel.
Diabetes.
Her awareness of her situation and surroundings is severely limited, as she spends most of her time in a stupor. But when she is lucid, she believes that she is in a special facility receiving treatment for her weight problem. In reality, SCP-2611 is under observation because
Oh my God.
SCP-2611-1. SCP-2611-1 is a mass of sentient fat located on SCP-2611's left
What?
side. SCP-2611-1 has become integrated with several of SCP-2611's vital organs, making it too dangerous to attempt to remove SCP-2611-1 via liposuction or other means. SCP-2611-1 has gradually exerted increasing control over the mind and actions of its host, to the point
It's a
that
parasite.
SCP-2611
Oh my God.
is only fully conscious for 1 to 2 hours daily. The rest of the time, SCP-2611-1 is fully in control of its host's behavior. Prior to coming to the SCP facility, SCP-2611-1 influenced its host to consume massive amounts of calories, leading to the mysterious and sudden weight gain that we observed earlier. This was possibly an attempt by SCP-2611-1 to increase its own size and influence, but as of yet, its reasons, as well as how it exerts control over its host, are unknown. When in control, SCP-2611-1 can speak through its host, communicating in standard American English. SCP-2611's access to food has been limited since her arrival at the Foundation, so as to prevent her weight gain from accelerating to dangerous levels.
That's probably for the best.
Other than eating, SCP-2611-1's main interest appears to be daytime television. Attempts to communicate with SCP-2611-1 have so far met with little success due to the anomaly's limited attention span for anything other than the minutiae of daytime television.
So it's basically a parasite, like a xenomorph, but instead of busting out of your chest, it just kind of lodges onto the side of you, making you watch daytime television and eating junk food. That's so unfortunate. Doesn't even make you watch cool action movies or stuff like that, specifically daytime television. What an evil entity.
In a conversation with one researcher, however, SCP-2611-1 let slip that it preferred daytime television to the programming watched by, quote, that other guy, suggesting that it lived inside a different host before it eventually took up residence within the body of SCP-2611.
Holy shit.
At another point, while in the middle of a conversation about a court drama, SCP-2611-1 suddenly announced, kill it now, I don't care if I die. Staff believe that this might not have been SCP-2611-1 at all, but rather the voice of SCP-2611 trying to break through the hypnotic control of her parasite to call for help.
That's crazy,
At
dude.
this time, no drastic action is recommended until further observations can be made. SCP-2611-1 does not appear to be contagious, and the way that it bonds with the host is unknown, so it is currently classified as safe.
You should put a Class D in there and see how it works.
SCP-2611-1 is the only known instance of its kind. However, considering rising levels of obesity worldwide, it is not unfathomable to think that there could be countless other instances influencing the behavior of other hosts to dedicate their lives to consuming food and television.
I just saw a new study confirm that 40% of American adults are obese, which is over like 300 pounds or so. I don't know the actual definition. I'm just saying, pretty suspicious.
Who knows? It's not like most of us would need that much convincing. Now go and watch another entry from the files of Dr. Bob, like SCP-002,
Dr.
The Living
Bobbert.
Room, for another tale of a large amount of flesh.
Ugh, flesh, such a gross word. Flesh is like my absolute, it's like how people are disgusted by moist. Mine's flesh. Dude, this poor chick, I'd be so freaked out if I was blacking out and then coming to doing exactly what I did with like self-destructive stuff. That'd be terrifying. It's like blacking out and killing somebody almost. I wouldn't know if they could be removed before it gets so large that it's connected. I feel like at like her early stages when she first started getting into it, it could have been safely removed. They gotta look for early signs of it. I think the scariest part when she said kill it though, like that's crazy. You know how scared you have to be to just kill me, get it out of me, like that's hardcore. Either way, Dr. Bob, thank you for the knowledge. Leave a like, subscribe, check his channel out down below, and I'll see you next time.